people seem to think that your friendship with him helped you a little bit competitively because he liked you so much.
That's a crock. Do you know what the NBA rebound record is?
It's 55 rebounds by Wilt Chamberlain.
You know who the other center was that night?
It was Bill Russell.
Now, how's that taken easy?
Yeah, he did that in November of 1960. So, you know, his second year in the league. 55 rebounds. That to me is incredible because, you know, against Bill Russell, they were the two greatest rebounders in the history of the game.
He called me up one day. Sports Illustrated had a cover and said, "Is Dennis Rodman the best rebounder ever?"
Oh, God.
And Wilt was so annoyed. And I cleaned it up saying annoyed. So he calls me up and he asked me, did I believe this bleep? And so I said, well, I don't pay attention to that. He says, I had more rebounds a quarter than he had a whole game.
In the 60s, Wilt was just picked apart more than any athlete. Why doesn't he do this? Why does he only care about numbers? Did you think it was fair?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, I never did any of that foolishness.
You never said one thing.
He got the 100 points against my team, the Knicks. That was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, but I read about it immediately the next day.
50 years ago, when he scored 100 points. That's right, 100 points.
100 points in one game, which I believe was versus the Knicks, 1962.
That's right. Yeah.
Is that right?
It's a long, long time ago. Right, yeah, right.
Was there a point? 100 points in one game.
The game wasn't on TV, just some pictures remain. But you better believe that night lives on in the memories of those who saw it.
He scored 100 points in a game in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and Al, you were in that game. And the night that he got 100, were you cognizant of that? Did you talk about it at halftime, or did you treat it like a no-hitter?
When Dave Zinkoff, who you remember, was doing the game, he started calling every point after that. And he would say, and that's 82, and that's 83.
Oh,
well,
Zinkoff.
then we became cognizant that he had a chance.
The most amazing scoring performance of all time. 100 points for the Big Zipper.
I believe that a great basketball player on a good night for him or a hot night for him can score 100 points. I believe that, sincerely. I believe there are other records I have that they may have a hard time ever taking a look at.
They always said he was by far the strongest person who's ever played in the NBA.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember that he lifted me up like with one arm like nothing.
Probably the greatest play I have ever seen in my life, Wilt Chamberlain was involved with Gus Johnson. Wilt was standing there. Gus goes up to dunk it. Wilt catches the ball, throws Gus to the floor. Still holding the ball, they carry Gus off the court with a dislocated shoulder from bouncing off the floor. I don't see how anyone in the NBA will ever be as strong as he was.
One time in a game, Casey Jones tied him up. He was really upset. And so Wilt Chamberlain picked up the ball with Casey still attached. And he picked it up with his arms extended, brought it to his chest, and threw a two-handed chest pass with Casey still on the ball. That's how strong he was.
He came to the gym and he would do a tricep extension that, like, the big guys, the strongest guys, would do, let's say, 120 pounds, let's say, tricep extension, pulling down, right? He would come and he would do 150, 170 pounds, Wilt Chamberlain. That's how strong he was.
When he made the moves with Arnold Schwarzenegger, they were in a weight room. And Wilt says, well, how do you do that? And Arnold goes, well, this way you do it. You know, you push up. So he goes, Wilt lays down on the bench, gets up under it. Bing, 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 bing. And Schwarzenegger never came into the weight room with Wilt again.
You know, when you're 32 years old, you know, you haven't quite checked your ego at the door yet. And I wasn't quite ready to check my ego at the door. So Dick McGuire, who's, you know, was a teammate of mine, and he said, Earl, the job is yours. So he offered me the job. I said, well, Dick, let me think about it. We played an exhibition game against the Philadelphia Warriors in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I saw Wilt for the first time. I said, nigga, it's time to go. I tell you, it's time. I told him, I said, you know what, man, you did me a great favor. He said, what did I do? I said, you know, you you took a hand-wringing and gut-wrenching decision and made it a no-brainer, right? Now it's time. When the game ended, I was Dick's assistant coach. Oh, yeah.
And I remember there was a game against Brooklyn. I played with Brooklyn, and Wilt played with the team from Philly. And we had this game against them, and it was probably one of the best games you've ever seen. But everybody don't remember it because it wasn't on video. It was pre-video. So it was a great game, and I think that Wilt, and we had a guy by the name of Jackie Jackson, who was like 6'4" and can actually touch the top of the backboard. I've heard people talk about guys touching the backboard. This guy can do it. And we ran a play, and Wilt used to shoot this fadeaway jump shot. He used to go up high and shoot it off the glass. So we had a play that we would make Wilt shoot this jump shot, and Jackie would come over and block it. And we had the play set up perfect. Wilt went in and turned, shot a jump shot. Jackie came from the weak side and caught it right at the top of the backboard. And the crowd went crazy. People were running around the place and jumping off the fence and almost jumping off the ceilings and stuff. And it was just phenomenal. And we looked over at Wilt, and Wilt was staring at us, and Wilt called timeout. Just called timeout like that. And everybody was still running around screaming. And back then there wasn't high five. They were giving everybody low five and stuff. Everybody was clapping and carrying on. And then the next 15 plays were dunks by Wilt that I've never seen before in my life. He dunked every single way he can be imaginable.
And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, help me out by hitting that like button, subscribing if you're new for more NBA content just like this, and hit that notification button so you never miss an episode in the series. Thank you for watching. Peace.